Guys, what's going on? I'm here in one of my all-time favorite travel spots, Sensoji Temple. I came here for the first time like 5 years ago, and I just remember the feeling that I had when I walked through here. It was just unmatched, and it was just so calm and tranquil, and I felt like the surroundings matched my inner feelings perfectly in a way. So that's why I kind of tend to return here every time I'm in Tokyo. I'm actually like at the back of the temple because of course, it's not so crowded here, and it's just easier to make a video, which is not such an easy thing in Tokyo. I don't like videos, definitely not live videos and stuff like that. But anyways, today I just wanted to talk about why I'm here, as opposed to the place where I normally am, which is more or less Spain, Europe, and it's the first time in 4 years that I haven't gone there. I basically spend the whole summer there. It was like my recurring pattern, but this year I decided not to, and I think it was more like for a few different reasons, and it will take some explanation, but basically like the I don't want to say relationship, but that's the easiest metaphorical way to think of it. The relationship that I have or had with Spain changed a lot over the past summer, and I got some perspective, and I realized what it's like to actually live there, to kind of try to be a resident there, and the opinions and attitudes of people who kind of live and work there, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. I wrote a post about it, but basically it's just overwhelming negativity. They hate tourists, they hate Spain, the other parts they don't consider themselves Spain. They hate big business, and just there's just so much complaining and negativity and like self-sorrow. I can't be around that. I need to be around people who are, trying to win, so to speak, trying to make things better, trying to improve, a little more compassionate towards others, things like that. So that was my main reason. And I know Europe is more than just Spain, but considering that was my preferred, my top place, like once I kind of broke up, again, I'm using the relationship metaphor. Once I kind of broke up with Spain, then it's like, it makes it harder to go back to the place as a whole. It's like if you had a group of friends and your key connection to that group was like your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, it's gonna be harder to hang out with those people regardless of how well you got along. Maybe you can make it work. Maybe I'll go back to Europe at another day and time, but for now I'm happy getting back to Tokyo and Seoul, because those are two of my top cities in Asia, and I feel I've definitely neglected spending time here the past few years, mainly because during the prime time, travel time, summertime, it's just been totally occupied by Europe, and I've just neglected or completely overlooked spending time in Seoul and Tokyo. And these are places where I feel like, especially Seoul, I actually have more friends, like people to visit, people to hang out with, people to do stuff with, share memories with, and go places with, stuff like that. Whereas I don't know, in Europe I didn't have the same connections, which is funny because you would think me as a Western person would be able to get closer, make deeper, stronger, and more connections with other Western people, but that's not necessarily the case. And that's another reason Europe. So, okay, don't dig too far into it, but people in Europe, they're oft they're likely to discriminate against you or me in a way if they find out, or if they know you're from the U.S. They assume so much stuff. Like I don't even like telling people there that I'm from the U.S., and it's not because in any way, shape, or form I'm ashamed of being in the U.S. I wouldn't say proud either, but I'm totally okay with it. It's part of who I am. I would never deny that. But anyways, they just assume way too much stuff. They're very politically inclined. It's the most politically inclined place I've ever been. So people always want to talk politics, which is fine if we're good friends. If I know you well and we're comfortable, sure, we can broach the topic. But that should never, almost never be, one of the first topics of conversation. I don't even know how many brothers you have and stuff like that, or sisters. Like, why should you be asking me all these kinds of questions? Can't we just, have a good time and not, have to deal with all that stuff either? So those are a couple. Spain breakup. I guess people aren't so nice to U.S. people there. And also, and that's the second one is a small one. I mean, I'm no big baby. It's not like people are gonna hurt my feelings that easily. It's just it is a small con or a minus, and I don't know if it's also another one is I don't know if it's the best time to be visiting Europe. Like, perhaps it's overblown in the media, but there have definitely been a number of domestic problems. I don't know, just attacks and stuff like that. And me, I don't even watch the news. I switch it off completely. But when I stayed in Barcelona last year, as some of you guys may know, there was a sizable terrorist attack. Just hundreds of meters, a few hundred meters from where I lived. Near Placa Catalunya. So that just put another damper on things on top of the political, internal problems they were having. Then there was a terrorist attack, and I love big cities. That's where I'm going. The places they're attacking are the exact places I'm gonna be. I love living city center, big cities, and that's like prime target. So I don't know. I would say 10 years ago it was much safer. Hopefully 10 years ahead is much safer. Maybe you could even say five. But either way, I think perhaps this period, the recent few years, maybe hopefully not next few years, is not the best time in terms of safety and stuff. Anyways, don't want to make this video terribly long, but I'm happy to finally be spending time again in these two cities I love, Tokyo, and in a couple weeks I'll be back in Seoul to get started on my big trip there. So I'm really excited about that because I'm making such a concerted, large, intentional effort to go there and put myself down and really try to make it work. And I've done this before. I feel like I was just here a few months ago. I'll probably make a separate video on it, but that's like the mindset that I had when I went to Mexico City. I was getting ready. I had big plans, and I really wanted to make it work. Unfortunately for me in Mexico City, that did not work out, not even close. But the difference here is I've been to Seoul twice, and one time I was there for 6 weeks. Man, that's a long trip. So I have some experience staying there, all positive. I get great treatment when I'm there from the people who live there, my friends and stuff. So I just know I don't want to take it for granted, but I just know, or I feel like I'm gonna have a great time there, and it's gonna be a place where I spend more and more time. So that's what's going on today. That's what's going on for the immediate near future. Hope you guys can relate, or that you kind of understand how things are going. But yeah, let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with any of the things I said about Europe, if you've had a similar experience, if you feel like you've been dating a country, so that way I don't feel like I'm the only one, then definitely let me know. But other than that, I gotta get going, guys. It's been a good video. Take care. Bye.